Hi everyone and welcome to the Dodo Bird Nerd. It's me, the Dodo Bird Nerd, and today's LEGO video, I'm going to be going over what an Aurochs LEGO piece could potentially look like. So, without any further ado, let's roll the intro and let's get started. So just one quick thing before we get started, that being that the works and image used will be in the description of the video. So the first thing to go over when talking about a potential Aurochs LEGO piece is what the size of the piece would be. Now, this would likely have to be around a 3 bricks and 2 plates tall to around a 4 bricks tall, with 8 to 10 studs in length in order to accurately get the dimensions of an Aurochs when compared to a LEGO minifigure, assuming that a minifigure is supposed to represent around 6 feet in height and that each stud is going to be around a foot. Now, obviously, you could have a lot of differential in that, as there's no, there's no one size fits all for Lego minifigure scale, as there's not a lot of good proportions, but I think that's a fairly good scale, all things considered, and so that's the one I'm going to use for this Aurochs piece. However, in addition to the main body of the piece, you'd have to include the horns, as the horns are also rather large. Now, this could be a new mold that fits into slots in the main piece, or it could be just molded into the piece, but they would have to be a fairly large addition to the rest of the Aurochs piece. Next up would be the color of the Aurochs piece. Now, it would either have to be a black mold or a reddish brown mold, as those were the two main colors the Aurochs could be. After that, you would either have some white and some black printing for stuff like the hair on the head, or the eyes, or I think they had a white stripe down their backs most of the time, as well as needing it for the horns. A white mold for the horns would likely be appropriate, as well as potentially some white printing around the snout mouth area of the Auroch to get the colors accurate. Lastly, where could this piece potentially show up? Again, a lot of these are similar to past videos in the series, so there is one difference. Firstly, an Aurochs piece could show up in a museum set. Museums tend to have stuffed versions or model versions of extinct animals, and an Aurochs is an extinct animal. Auroch skeletons, or at least casts of them, do also show up in museums, and while this wouldn't be a full new piece, it would be a brick-built thing of some kind, it still could potentially lead some credence to a Aurochs piece being present in a museum set. Next, a zoo set could potentially be the home of an Aurochs LEGO piece. Zoos' extinct animal statuaries tend to be mainly for dinosaurs, though an Aurochs is still an extinct species, so it could still show up there. A new theme could potentially be the home of an Aurochs piece, as while we wouldn't know what this is, we could only speculate, it still could happen in a new theme, so I thought I'd mention it here. A prehistoric world set is definitely an incredibly likely location for an Aurochs piece, however. This is mainly due to the fact that they were very widespread during that time. They're well known on cave paintings, especially in Europe, I believe, but they were also in Asia and North Africa. So it could very easily show up in a prehistoric theme based in any of those three locations. So an Aurochs piece, I think that's definitely one of the most likely places to potentially see an Aurochs piece would be in some sort of prehistoric world set. Lastly, a minifigure series could be the home of an Aurochs piece, though this is definitely the least likely animal in the series to show up in a minifigure series, simply due to the sheer size of an Aurochs piece. While in recent years they've managed to put a bike and a centaur leg piece in the minifigure blind bags, I think an Aurochs piece might just be too large for those blind bags. Now, they could put a baby Auroch in a blind bag, and in theory, they could still put in a full-grown Aurochs in a minifigure blind bag. However, I definitely think this is one of the least likely places for it to show up, especially when compared to other extinct animals in this series, but there is still a slim chance. So, it makes sense to at least mention it in this video. So that is what I think the characteristics of an Aurochs piece could potentially be, as well as where it could show up. So, what do you think of what I discussed? Let me know in the comments down below. What extinct animal would you like me to do next? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!